Ooh, doggy. What is going on, beautiful people? I hope and pray that y'all are doing phenomenally well. So we are back again. I think this might be part three of our Hey Raffy series with sending out offers on the MLS through Hey Raffy. And Jared, thank you so much, brother, for being so generous with your time and doing these videos and trainings and tutorials with us. Yeah, it means the world to me. I appreciate you.
My pleasure, man. Thanks again for having me. It's always good to talk to you.
So I will say this, and this is the timing is perfect, but literally this morning before our call, we got another signed contract offer
Nice.
accepted through the platform. So this is three, and we're rocking and rolling here on the platform. And I'm gonna go out here and throw out a teaser, but I think that we need to do like 100K challenge on on the platform. Y'all in the
Be correct.
comments, put in the comments, y'all, if you want us to do 100K challenge, making 100K in assignment fees all through Hey Raffy, getting deals off of the MLS. What you think, brother? Can it be done?
Oh, it can be done. I think if somebody's gonna do it, should be you. I think you
Let's
should
go.
show them how
Let's
it's done,
go.
man.
I love it. I really do. I think it'll be good because the first challenge that we did was get a deal within 30 days of the platform. And I think we literally got that in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, nailed
Um,
it.
and so now we're actually scaling it up. Where we at like 80 offers a day
Yeah,
going
yeah. We're
out.
about 80 offers a day, and let's if we just want, we can review kind of some of the key performance numbers on your account real quick.
Nice.
So, big thing within the last. Let's just look for the last 30 days. You're at a 51% response rate. That's pretty good. That's pretty much
Is
in
that good?
line.
Is
Yeah.
that a good like where are you what should we be aiming for? Do you think that's good?
Well, it varies. I would say, I think from what we're doing right now on your account, that's pretty good.
Mhm.
Inevitably, the higher amount of offers you send, you're probably end up getting a lower response rate anyway.
Okay.
And that's because you just don't have the fine tooth ability to go through every person that maybe didn't respond and provide some sort of manual insight. Um, as this thing builds, though, so we're kind of we'll be at day 60 here pretty soon. I think when we launch, December 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're at day 60
Day 60.
officially
Let's go.
today.
I love it.
Um, you're going to notice that probably around 120 days. So another 60 days from today, we should actually we'll see an increase in the response rate. And here's what happens. You've left messages for people that have got properties that are on the market. Inevitably, there's going to be a handful of those that continue to age out longer and longer. There's a certain level of desperation. Well, you're going to notice some of the Rafi recommendations that come in are going to be the suggested follow-ups for properties that you might have sent out an offer on 30 days ago, still listed, going to re-engage with them. So you're going to have kind of this snowball of pipeline opportunities that start to coalesce, right? And so you might even get a couple agents that call you and go, "Hey, Clifford, I sent you you guys sent this offer like back in December. Is this thing still available?"
Yeah.
And then that becomes a real good negotiation. So I would say 50% is really good for where we're at now. We're going to find that you'll probably get up into the 55, 60% range for the type of strategy that you have. The other thing I'll just mention, because I know you got some folks on this call that are maybe even thinking about joining us, is your response rate is ultimately predicated on your offer percentage that you come in, right? And so it should be no surprise that the higher your offer percentage is, the better your response rate is going to be.
Yeah.
That said, you're in a really comfortable range where you're still able to negotiate that good solid deal. So I don't think you change anything. I think
Nice.
you've got a consistent run of numbers. How's the activity level been, right? So you're sending out 80 offers a day. Has that been keeping you busy?
It has, but not as extreme as I would have thought. In
Hmm.
full transparency, y'all, if you're listening, I am managing all of this myself. I don't have a team member doing this. I don't have a VA doing it, because doing offers on the MLS is a brand new strategy for me specifically. I have to know how to work it first before I try to pass it on to a team member. And so, yeah, I would venture to say I'm spending less than 2 hours. We still haven't, I haven't hit 2 hours a day consistently in this. Um, it's almost kind of weird too. I feel like I get a spike. I normally have a boatload of emails in the morning to respond to. And then kind of maybe midday or later in the evening, I get a whole nother bump of emails to respond to. And so I don't know if that's just the timing at when the platform is sending out the offers. Uh, but that's kind of how it's been. So it's actually been going like, that's why I'm asking, like, how much can I double down
Yeah.
and keep it going and see? I say let's keep bumping it up, every couple weeks and keep playing with it. But I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Well, I've got some goodies I'm going to show you here in a minute. That should give you plenty of opportunity to blow a couple hours, no problem, in a given day, where you can, come through this and ultimately, catch some more opportunities that are out there. The one thing that's really cool about, I think, what we're headed with your account is, when at its very best, you're actually going to continue to spend less time on this as time goes on. So Rafi's he's collecting all of your all of your responses, all of your communications, and when we reach a certain confidence threshold, he's just going to do it for you. So those responses on the folks, especially like the "I'm good, Clifford," we couldn't have rejected this any faster type of
Yeah.
responses. He's going to take care of that stuff, and there's going to be literally no oversight from you at all, right? So, and that'll also bleed into some of the other stuff. At some point, you'll have the ability to set up. He'll have the ability to set up meetings for you, like on the fly, with maybe more of those motivated types. So you'll notice it's gonna be pretty cool. So maybe the more that we throw at you, the better it gets. The less time that you spend. I just want to get you to the beach, man. I just want to get you out there. You can hang out with your cocktail in hand, or I guess you're a bourbon guy, so maybe
Yeah,
that's your
I'm perfect.
thing.
But what's funny is I'll actually be at the beach this weekend. We're going to
Perfect.
Cancun for a little weekend getaway, so it'll be perfect.
Nice.
But and y'all, if you're listening, I just wanted to do kind of more of a tactical. I know this isn't really hoorah motivational, but I showed y'all, or I told y'all that I would share this entire journey with y'all. So I'm learning this process and we're getting it going. So that's kind of what this video is. If you're really interested in booking a call with Jared or his team, we'll leave a link in the description. I recommend seeing if your market is available, because what I find or believe that this gets people in the game very quickly to start making offers, to be known in your area as a real estate investor, and really start building relationships, y'all. This is a platform that I'm really loving and that I'm just proud to be a part of and rocking and rolling, y'all. And this isn't it's not a paid commission. Like, y'all aren't signing up and he's sending me a check. It's not any of that, y'all. He's here out of his good faith and his will and his willingness just to share value. And I'm using it because I believe in the platform. So I'll add that. Before you share your updates, because you do have some updates that you wanted to share with me, I'll share this with you too. I think you'll kind of get a little kick out of it. So I created a little
Oh, nice.
template for myself. So when I go in here and I can respond to sellers quickly, like if they reply back, "Hey, your price is too low," then I already have my message already typed out. So I did this for a little bit, maybe like a week, if that. And now the AI platform within the platform is automatically creating those. So now all I have to do is go in there and uh and hit send. So it's automatically doing it for me.
Nice.
So
That makes me happy.
it's really learning it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, good. And it should continue to get better too, right? The more information you feed it, and it's full transparency here, right? We've got that calling and SMS that's hooked up too, and that will only get better and better. Also, I'm going to give your community a quick sneak peek at something that's going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks.
Nice.
Okay, maybe more like 3 weeks or maybe even 4 weeks. We'll say give me 30 days to be on the safe side here, but
just say it's coming out soon.
It's coming out soon. Well, I want to. I'm pretty jazzed up about it because it's a really cool feature. But we're going to be building what's called a smart voicemail box into the platform. So every account's got a 10 DLC number approved that hangs along on with the actual account itself. Well, we're going to be receiving and answering all of those phone calls with some AI. And you got to hear this because it doesn't sound like the robotic voicemail boxes that you're used to. But the whole premise is this: it picks it up and it's going to go, hey, my name's Rafi. I'm Clifford's virtual assistant. I'm happy to send him any information you want, or I might be able to answer some questions for you. And he's served all of the material that you have already got in your account itself. So if he's asking a question about the property you sent an offer on, he can answer those questions. He can even respond if he gives some sort of response that is already part of your account itself. But all of this stuff, which is just like, hey, I just want to talk to Clifford, make sure he's a real human, that'll be a notification that gets created to you, and you can of course pick up the phone and call him. So we think that would be pretty cool to cut down on maybe some of those situations where somebody calls in and it's just like, yeah, Clifford, I just want to let you know I'm not interested.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's a time-saving platform, right? We think about, our time and it just automates the whole process in a nutshell. And I'm loving it. I'm telling you, I'm head over heels about it.
Thanks, man. We love you too.
So what's the newest updates?
Well, more than maybe an update per se, I want to go through kind of a few additional features that you can leverage, because I know you're looking for better ways that you can improve opportunities that already exist in your pipeline. So I'm just going to go through some best practices and some stuff that we actually do on in our campaigns and within our account to generate ultimately a little more business. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
All right.
So I've got your account pulled up here. So one of the first things, and we've got a whole team of users that operate in our platform itself. We've kind of got the closer level team members. They are responsible really for doing a lot of the phone calls with some of those opportunities that have maybe said, hey, we're willing to come down in our price a considerable amount. But we also have kind of like just, maybe more of like a VA style person that comes into this thing every single day. And one of the things that we always do is we come over here and we go to cold as the first place. And we just start scrolling down and looking at all of the responses or all of the properties that don't have any response whatsoever on them. And so a really interesting thing that we've noticed is just simply by going through this, maybe every couple of days and coming into these, and maybe even sending a third follow-up or a fourth follow-up, ends up generating quite a few responses. And what we've noticed is sometimes on that third and fourth response, there's about a 25 to 45, depending on the account, % of the time, the agent will come back and say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I missed this. This did go to spam. Let me investigate, check in with my seller to see if that could work well for you. We do have an update right now where we're pulling all of the properties that are no longer on market or have been sold off already. They're getting pulled off this platform. So you're not going to run into the situation where you're sending out something that's been off the market at this point, because you'll notice like over here on the side, this one got updated. It had our original offer price, but now this is under contract. So this also then provides another opportunity where we can come in here and we could even send this seller, we could send the agent a follow-up note, and it might sound something like, hey, notice you guys are under contract. If that falls through, would still be interested in having a conversation with you. So that, what we have noticed, is just makes a very powerful engagement tool with the agents that are already out there that we've made an attempt to engage with. It also brings a level of awareness around the deal itself. In fact, we just had a deal that we got under contract doing this is the very same premise. One was a spam situation. The other one was like, hey, it's under contract. We wanted to come through and provide kind of like that secondary backup offer. So there's some really cool things that you can do just by coming in here and filtering by the cold category.
Nice. So just curious, how long or how often does the platform like recheck, if that's the right word, like the status of the property to see if it's under contract or sold?
Every single night.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yeah, all of our processing happens late at night because we've got a lot of AI that we're using, and we also know that nobody's really going to be using anything at night. So we also want the freshest data because we trigger most of the offers to go out in the morning.
Okay.
So we want that to be the fresh stuff.
And then also like on the third follow-up, is that something that I should be doing manually, or is that like an automation that I need to create within the platform?
Great question. So there's a little bit of all of the above that we can do, and this is going to be personal preference. So we do have the workflow setting right here that we set up in the beginning. You've got that follow-up right now that goes out at day 2. You can absolutely come in here and you can make a follow-up for day 7, and then maybe another one that comes out at day 30. The workflow is just set up to get a response. So if they respond at any point in there, we're not going to send the follow-up response.
Okay.
This is more of a personal preference. However, we also have conditional follow-ups taking place. So at day 30, we will trigger somebody, or we will trigger a Rafi response to come in here and prompt you with that notification to say, hey, this thing still listed. We sent out this offer. Do you want to re-engage? Do you want to send that out? And go. So
and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm literally taking notes here, y'all, because this is my actual campaign here that I'm going to be tweaking and adjusting. So I have to take notes. So forgive me on this. But no, I definitely want to create. I think that would be awesome to hit at least on day 7, So that way there's a little bit of a gap there, and then it's hitting them.
So here's another best practice on kind of where you're going to, right? So if you come into the inbox and filter by that cold that we came into, one thing that we'll literally do is we'll come down to the 14-day mark and beyond. And at day 14, we actually will pick up the phone and call these folks. So we'll go through these and, I'll just quick spot check. So this one still active. We sent an offer 30 days ago, and I don't remember what your criteria are, but I'll go ahead and just call this person. Hey, Sharmi, we sent you an offer a couple of weeks back, wanted to re-engage, because sometimes this can ultimately spark that. So here's another interesting one, right? This one is off market, right? So you're not going to be able to send a follow-up to this person, but no reason why you couldn't call the homeowner.
I agree.
So that would have been like a withdrawal on property. Here's another one that's active, right? So as just kind of a quick look, you could come through these and quickly assess, hey, what can I do with each one of these? And there might only be a handful, right? I mean, we just went through all of your 14 days, and there's only maybe 15, 20 of them total. So that might be a handful of phone calls that you can make over to agents real quick and re-engage. And that'll be before the Rafi suggestions come into play. So there's some other cool creative stuff that we can do to play around with to get in front of some of these opportunities that are still out there.
And I think actually this would be a great opportunity to where I could get a team member involved and say, hey, go in here, go on the platform, filter this out. Let's call anybody that we haven't received a response from, within the last 10 to 14 days, whatever it may be, and actually just get them on the phone.
Yep. Well said.
I actually like that.
So, and maybe this is more of a comment just for you, if that's what you're going to be doing, right? You can filter everything by campaign themselves too. So I know you and I think we're going to be moving forward with a campaign that's in a different state. So inevitably there's going to be some different procedures that you may want to take in that new state. So if you've got a team member working here, and this is actually how we do it on our end, one team member will be assigned maybe a certain campaign list, or they might be assigned a certain lead status list. That's really for you to figure out on where that best fits. But if you've got, say, somebody that's, of the VA variety, What we're literally having them do is come in here and respond to all of the email responses basically in the morning. Anything that seems like a really interesting follow-up where, hey, this person came back with a counter offer that was significant. So like actually our thing is if it's more than 5% than whatever it was listed for, an acquisitions person will pick up the phone and they'll call them right away. But everything else, our VA can just come in here and cycle through all of the responses via email for the important ones. She'll also go through all of the phone calls to make sure that we're capturing any interesting voicemails that come through. And I'll show you that here in a minute for maybe the users that are thinking about using this. But really just the low hanging fruit for the day, right? That's kind of activity number one. And all of the interesting stuff then, of course, gets sent up the food chain, if you will.
Sure. And I definitely think that's an amazing reminder for y'all or for all of us to let's make sure that we're not forgetting about the low hanging fruit. Let's go and create these follow-ups. I truly believe in this business, you need three things: volume, consistency, and follow-up. Like if you're not doing those three things, you're not getting deals and you're not getting deals done consistently. Like volume, consistency, and follow-up. And so that follow-up part is huge.
Yeah, that's well said. And the follow-up in a lot of ways can be sometimes the thing that ends up catching all of the other stuff that maybe you didn't have volume or consistency on either, right? So they help each other out. I love it.
Exactly.
So the other thing I'll show you is the call notifications. So, and maybe you've already noticed this, Clifford, but if you're not on platform, you're going to get a bunch of people that call in and they might even leave you voicemails. So you can actually come in, hit this little phone call button up here at the top. And these looks like you've got 3 phone calls. One didn't leave a message. One left a message. This one didn't leave a message. You can actually come in here and listen to their voicemails. You can call them back directly from this as well if you want. But you'll notice that sometimes we get a couple really interesting voicemails. And full disclosure, right? Sometimes the phone number that we have isn't associated with an actual lead. So that can create some challenges. But you'll notice we've also got this assigned lead category here. So you can punch the property address in that it needs to get assigned to. And you want to do that specifically too, right? Because if you got, let's just say you've got an agent, the phone number that we had, of course, is from their data feed. So maybe it's their office number. They call in with their cell, they leave a voicemail. We don't have any way of like matching that record up, but we listen to the voicemail and it's like, Clifford, call me ASAP. I want to sign this thing. In fact, I want to give you $100,000 less than what you had actually offered for, call me ASAP. We want to get that on the record itself. So you can come in here and assign that to the right record. And Rafi will actually also end up doing his thing in there too, taking that data and mulling it over. So kind of an important step to make sure you're aware of.
Okay. It's an important step that honestly that I forgot about. So I was in here. It may have been either yesterday or the day before yesterday. I don't know what I was just clicking around and just trying to. I'm still finding my way through the platform, and then I saw that I had all of these missed calls and voicemails from like a week or two ago. And so I had to go in there and clear them all out. And so that's why there's only 3 in there.
Yeah. That's all right. It happens, right? Get busy, get on the road, totally forget about them. Exactly. So that's maybe some of the lowest hanging fruit that you and your team could spend some time, and you're going to find some extra deals just by doing that alone, if nothing else.
Nice.
The other thing I want to show you is the Smart Campaign, and I've got it up and running. It won't load until tomorrow, so I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like. Just go here to the demo account. So your Smart Campaign is triggered to run for properties that are in distress, and that is not positioned to any of the other filters that you have on your other campaigns, right? So some of your other campaigns that are running, it's, hey, we're going to target properties that have been on the market for 45 plus days. We're going to target everything that's less than whatever. I can't remember what all your filters are, but less than $400,000. And maybe you've got 1 or the 2 other filters in there. Your Smart Campaign is triggering anything that's on the market, so it can hit the day of. And we're really just looking for distressed style properties. And we set this up specifically because we do notice that there are times, frequently, property hits the market. It's a perfect investment opportunity. The thing is in disrepair, needs a lot of love, but it's also priced accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily want to trigger that with a 70% discount for your main offer, right? You're going to get outbid by the other folks that are actually looking at the MLS and running their numbers every single time. So we developed this thing called Smart Campaign. So Smart Campaign is designed to be more of an manual approach that you can come into every single day, and you can even have a VA do this style of investigation. But the whole point is you'd come through this and you're going to be looking. So this is a Smart Campaign queue. You'll notice that there's a little eyeball on the side of all of these. And so I come down and, maybe you don't want to target all of the particular cities, or maybe there's a certain price point that you want to target. It'll even trigger condition. And apologies, this normally is all going to say poor or good, not new and rehab. This is my sample property. But what you want to do is find the areas, find the opportunities that you think are probably the highest opportunity for you. Hit the little eyeball. That's going to drop you out into the offer page. And this is a little different because we're going to give you some of the property characteristics. We'll do our best to pull comparables for your particular area. Full disclosure, Texas, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be great, but really this is the primary benefit that's going to give you. But you can come in here and manually adjust the offer price, right? So, hey, this one's listed for 350,000. Seems like it's priced pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and offer 320. Send it out. Boom. It's going to follow the normal workflow that you're always used to sending. And then you can move on to the next one from there. So the whole premise here is we want to make sure that you can capture other opportunities that exist within the territories that you've got spoken for in your particular market. You can get in front of them super quick, key in a quick offer price that makes sense, and send it out. A little bit more effort, right? So you were like, hey, I want to spend more time here, a little more effort, but inevitably you're going to get a little bit more attention to these. So these sometimes can provide a little better result too.
Nice. I like it. I like it. I think too, and I'll say even for the listeners, like you'll get out of it what you put into it. Yes, everything is pretty automated for the most part, but don't be afraid to spend a little more time actually calling some of these leads, right? Like reaching out, going in here, doing some of the more manual stuff, because at the end of the day, real estate is all about building relationships, right? Reach out to these agents, make it personal. Like take that extra step is basically what I'm hearing from you. So this way we can maximize the platform and everything that it's doing to get more deals done, to close more deals, and essentially make more money, because that's what everybody wants to do.
Well said. You said it.
There we go. But no, I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be awesome on the smart campaigns, to where we can go in here and now being a lot more strategic in making those more manual offers on properties that are in distress. And automatically, like where my mind went for me, hey, get a VA to possibly go in there, do that with the smart campaigns, and call those listings that we didn't get a response on after a couple of weeks. Like, I think that's a good spot to have a team member come in and step up and carry that extra load.
I think you're going to be pretty impressed at how much extra benefit you get from doing that. I'll give you an example. We personally never used to do that really until like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And the first time that we did it, I mean, I think within the next 30 days, we ended up getting like twice as many contracts than we typically had. I mean, quite honestly, because we had all of this this leftover opportunity that we weren't putting the attention on that we needed to. So it was this huge snowball of activity that we experienced by just going there and do that. So that was like, oh, okay, maybe we need to be going in here a little more frequently and checking some of this stuff out and making sure we're not missing anything.
Well, no, I think this is right on time. So now, as of this recording on February 5th, so people see like, okay, our 100K challenge starts officially today. So let's let's close 100K in MLS listings. and see how long it takes. I think we can do it in 30 days. And I think this will be a great way for me, okay, to step up. Let's get some of those low hanging fruits and really go hard on it.
Yeah, I agree. We'll be waiting too. I'm excited to see if you can nail this challenge, man. I bet you can do it. I bet you can do it.
I think we can, man. I've never ran from a challenge. I might get kicked in the face with the boot, but I done
Never
put
met a
my foot in
challenge I
my
didn't
mouth a
like.
couple times, but that's part of it. I have a tendency to do that.
Yeah, well said.
Uh,
Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. There's one other and my apologies. Let me pull this back up real quick. I didn't get a chance to show you this. Just within your account,
mhm.
there's so this view that I just told you about a second ago kind of drops you in a place where you can look and change the offer price. Let's say you're working with, and this is maybe for everybody on your call who might be thinking about using this, or maybe they already are. Let's say you're working with a customer, and this could be off market too, doesn't necessarily matter. And you want to go ahead and send them a formal offer. Maybe you're on the phone and they're like, hey, send me an offer. You're working with them on the phone. You got them down on a price and you want to get that in front of them like kind of ASAP. You can also use this thing up here. This is the offer tool. It's the exact same view that you just saw there. You can type in any property address. It could be off market, on market. It doesn't necessarily matter. We're going to pull any of the previous pictures that might have been on an old listing. We're going to pull the old listing description, some of that information. Again, keep in mind, it could be a little bit older, but we'll pull all of the data that we can. But at the end of the day, even if it's off market, we're going to go ahead and run the skip trace on it. And we'll try to get you the most accurate email. So that way, when you've got a price that you're ready to present to this homeowner, you can go ahead and send them that email. It's going to be fully buttoned up with the offer. And I'll show you here in a second. You can also change the email itself that goes out to, right? So especially if you're working with a seller, you probably don't want to say, hey, I'm interested in your listing. So you come in here, you enter the property. As you'll see, it pulled up all of the pictures from the old listing. This one's off market. Pulled up some of the other information here. I can come over here and I can change the email that goes out. We can even have a different contract if you want, if you've got maybe a normal standardized contract that you're using for the off market world. I can come up here and I can change that offer price to whatever. It's pretty cool. You can fire it out that way. So that's just another way that you can kind of utilize the platform to send offers at scale.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think it gives me some good ammo to play with and go in here and really make some fine tuning and again maximize the platform and use it as much as we possibly can to serve more people, close more deals, and make more money. My bourbon shelf is looking kind of light over here. I need to stock it up.
100K of assignment deals should do that, right?
Yes, sir. It sure will. But brother, as always, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being so open and generous with your time. I know that the community too has been blowing you up about the platform and filling your calendar up, and they've just been praising your name, talking about how amazing you've been to work with, talk to, shining light, and then going above and beyond and sharing market data and stuff with them too. So I appreciate you as always, man. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks to you, man. Appreciate it. You got a great community too. A lot of really good folks you're working with out there. So if anybody's listening that we've talked to, know that you're not forgotten about. You're all good people.
Thank you. I like to think we're the best community here on the planet. We are. I tell everybody before we go, this isn't about becoming the largest community. It's about being the most impactful community. Like having people who are truly set on serving other people and making an impact, not just in their personal life, but in their community too. That's what the Real Estate Corral is all about, man.
Well said.
But awesome, bud. I'll let you get back to that beautiful family, and you have a blessed one.
100K, here we come.
Let's go. Let's go. Later, bud.
See you, man.